Hey, what's up guys? Kaiser here, coming at you with another book review. Now, what have I been doing in these segments? I want to only give you books that you're going to love, that are going to be life-changing, that you're actually going to want to read, that you're going to go through fast, that are going to have a lot of value for you. Like, I only want books that are going to totally change your perspective, and those are the ones that I've been giving to you. So when you see these segments, I hope you watch them, I hope you love them. I really hope that you grab the books. Now, I'm not a fool. I have a feeling today's book you're not going to read. It's a boring book. It's science-y. It talks a lot about anthropology, right? So you may not like it, but it's probably one of the most life-changing books you could get, in the fact that it's just so informative about human history. The name of the book is The Sapiens by this guy. I'm not going to try to say his, you know what, I'll try to say it. Yuval Noah Harari. Bill Gates likes the book, so it must be good, right? Bill Gates likes it. Okay, so Bill Gates likes the book. It's A Brief History of Humankind. Now, what's the main lesson that you're going to get from the book? Just totally going to help you decode the Matrix. Now, what does that mean? That term comes from the movie The Matrix. It's that this entire world we live in was kind of given to you. It's all made up. You were given a place in it. You, and not just you, I, all of us, probably have not had an original thought in our entire lifetime. I mean, it's probably controversial to say, but you may not even, I may not, or maybe I'm a little more enlightened because I'm reading books like this, we may not even have a soul. Like, everything that you know has been taught to you. The way you think is because of where you were born, who you met, what you read. The career you're in is because of your family, the people around you. You've probably never had an original idea. So once you're aware of that, now you can do something about it. Now you can start to think, you know what, who the hell am I? What do I want to do? And what's on my mind? And not just, you know, making everyone happy or doing what everyone is telling you to do. That doesn't mean like a YOLO type of thing where you're self-destructive. It means just really finding yourself. Probably means actually what happened in the movie The Matrix. When they woke up, when they got out of the Matrix, they had to do real work. They're wearing crappy clothes, eating crappy food. And you know, when you wake up from the Matrix and stop listening to all the advertising and all that stuff, kind of like that movie, you're gonna have to work out, sweat, and start eating crappy food to get yourself in shape. So a lot of parallels from that movie, and this book will help you in that philosophy. The book talks about the anthropological stuff. Maybe you'll find, I really hope that, you know, you'll find it fascinating. It talks about how we got here. You know, believe it or not, there was multiple types of humans at one time. You know, we're called something Homo erectus. I know it sounds a little weird. I hope YouTube doesn't ban this video for me saying that, but we're Homo erectus, where there was other types of homos out there. Again, like, you know, this is like some school humor. You might be laughing at that, you know, try to grow up. But there was other types of homos out there that we actually killed or died out. They weren't suited for life on Earth. So this book talks a little bit about how we survived. Then the original cultures and survival. And one thing this book actually talks about is that, you know how we think about caveman lifestyle of people killing each other and all that? Probably wasn't as bad compared to what came after. Early civilization wasn't necessarily good for humans. The civilization we're in now, eating wheat-based products, population explosion, wasn't necessarily good for the human race. One major thing that this book talks about, that people didn't get healthier, they didn't necessarily live longer. The only thing that happened is that human agriculture allowed for population explosion. And when you consider there were organisms, when you consider that you're animals, anything that helps with population explosion is going to be beneficial, even if on an individual basis it doesn't work. So that's some of the decoding the Matrix stuff that he talks about. You know, a lot of the stuff, when you talk about humans, I mean food, eating, health, fitness, is a big part of our life. What he talked about, humans, we've only been here for a few thousand years. I mean, not even much more than 100,000 years in our new, kind of common form and packaging, like people the way we are now. And he talks about how that old human was probably flexible and able well into their later years. Whereas now, once you're over 30, definitely under 40, unless you're boot camping, unless you're taking care of yourself, you're starting to see decline and you're breaking down. So you can't talk about life, you can't talk about humans unless you're talking about fitness, and that's another thing that he talks about in the book. He talks a lot about food, how our modern eating was developed, how we got addicted to eating animal proteins and what these animals go through. Like, you're almost gonna wanna become a vegan when you read this book. The typical cow in nature will live to 5+ years. The typical cow, when it's born in a, wherever we raise cows, what do you call that? Cow farm, will live 4 to 5 months, and then it will be killed. Will never in its entire life live in a space bigger than its body. They don't want it to walk and move because that way the meat will be softer, it'll taste better, and there's no benefit, there's no reason for them to have the cow move. So the cow has an absolute miserable existence. So you could say that the development of human agriculture, modern agriculture, and all that modern eating, the fact that there aren't farms all over the place, that there's offices and apartments, so we just go to work, and then we go to the supermarket, and there's a cow there wrapped nicely in plastic for us to take home. But what's happened to our society and how miserable it is for all of these animals out there and what horrible things we've done to them. So you may not like that part. It'll probably have you eating less meat. Anything that you can do just to understand how we all got here. We're here for a very short time. What we do here is based on what came before us. A lot of these choices weren't made for us, and what the book says, which is very fascinating, may not even be beneficial for you on an individual one-off level. Working all day, doing something you hate, or obviously not moving your body. Moving your body here is great, can counteract whatever you're doing in your career. But if you're doing something you hate, and if you're doing something that doesn't move your body at all, that's not the way humans were meant to live. And why are we seeing so many mental health things happen these days? Anxiety, the D word, depression, all that stuff is happening because people are taken outside the way they were meant to live. There was something right. We're doing an amazing thing here. People are here. There's never been anything like us here on this planet. Never been anything like us from what we know in the entire universe, anywhere in the universe. I'm actually one of those people. A lot of people sitting around waiting for the aliens to come. I don't think there are any aliens coming. I think we're the only ones here. And that should make you appreciate your life even more, because once we're gone, once the last person is gone, this is not happening again. Every minute, every second, and as a whole, we have to use this opportunity. I think that's somewhat of the undercurrent in this book. Maybe it's not, maybe I'm reaching too much into it, but you can come into your own conclusions. And now, you know what? We're all grown-ups, we're all adults, right? The learning shouldn't end. The learning should definitely not stop. When this stuff was taught to us the first time, it was taught to us in a super boring way. Maybe by a, no offense to all the teachers, but probably by a super boring, you teachers, the better body teachers, are the fun, hip, fit teachers, right? But it was probably taught to you by not a fun, hip teacher. You were forced to learn it in a short period of time, regurgitate the information without doing any critical thinking about it. So learning has got a bad rap, and a lot of the sciences and a lot of these intellectual subjects have got a bad rap. These books are mass market books. This is not a textbook. This is a $20 or $15 book. So these guys only make a lot of money if a lot of people buy the book. So that means it's a very interesting book. It's a compelling read. So you're gonna love the book. So again, guys, it gets my highest recommendation. I'm not gonna waste my time doing these. I'm not going to waste your time unless they're highly influential books. You know, telling someone to read, telling you to read in itself is boring enough. So I'm not going to make that worse by telling you to read a boring book. So this is one you're going to love, guys. So in summary, guys, today's book is The Sapiens. I really hope you pick it up. And that's it for today's episode. It was a little different than our usual book review, but it doesn't mean it wasn't just as good. Hope you pick up the book, and you'll be hearing from me again soon. Take care.